Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Kosi, and in today's video I'm sharing with you guys on how I made this simple beautiful A-line dress that has just one pocket at the side. So I used this one on the side of my screen to recreate this one with plain and pattern here. So if you're interested to learn how I made this, please keep on watching, and if you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe so you get notified once new video drops. So guys, like I said earlier, this is plain and pattern, and each of the piece I have 2 yards for each of it. I'm actually making this for a client. It's not for me, it's for a client. Can you see? So this plain here, it's somehow stretchy. It doesn't stretch by length, it stretches by width. Okay, so right here, what I'm going to do now, like I said before, I have 2 yards for the plain, and I also have 2 yards for the pattern. You get? So what I'm going to do now is to go ahead and spread the pattern. You get? We are not going to spread this like we normally spread our fabric when cutting. What I mean is that it's not going to be folded into two. It's not going to be on a fold. Do you get? Just go ahead and spread it just like this, just a one piece like this. Go ahead and spread it. So the length of this gown is 37, then I'm adding 2 inches extra. So right here I am marking 39 inches. You get? So after making a straight line with it, you can see that I marked 39 inches. What I'm going to do next is to go ahead and mark out half an inch for the joining of the front. You know, from the picture inspiration, that is the one I'm using to recreate this one here. One side of it was sewed with a plain material, while the other side was sewed with a pattern or Ankara. You get? So right here, I am marking that half an inch for the joining of the front. I hope you understand what I'm saying now. So you can see the picture scrolling, so you understand what I'm saying now. You get? So after marking my half an inch, I marked it from the up to down part of the 39 inches. Do you get? So now after I was done doing that, I am going to place my tape. You get? So when you place your tape, the next thing I'm going to come down is the person's half length. The person's half length is 14 inches. Now I'll place my tape, then I'll come down by 14 inches, as you can see. So I'll just make a straight line with it. I'll also shift my tape, just adjust it a little bit, then mark the 14 inches, just make a straight line with it, just like you see me doing. Get? So after I was done doing that, I will also place my tape from the half length. I'll come down by 8 inches. You get? So this 8 inches I'm going to come down now is for the hip line. Do you get? So after marking this, you can see where I have here. Now on the shoulder, I am going to divide the shoulder into two, adding extra half an inch for the stitching allowance. You get? Then when I marked it, I am going to place my tape. Then I will come down by 8 inches for the person's armhole depth. Do you get? So after marking my 8 inches here, I also place my tape to mark the shoulder circumference. Now I will use my ruler to make a straight line with it. After making my straight line, I came down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then I divided what I had there and also marked it. Then come in again by half an inch. Then divide the bust circumference. I marked quarter of the bust circumference. Then right here I connected the 3 dots I had. So right here I placed my tape on the shoulder line, then I marked 3 inches for the neck wideness, and I also made my slant. I connected it to the place I marked my 3 inches. Do you get? Now after I was done doing that, I'll divide the bust circumference into 4. I marked it, then add 2 inches for the seam allowance. On the waistline, I marked the waist circumference. You get? That's the waistline. I marked it by 4, add 2 inches. On the hip, I divided the hip circumference by 4. I marked it, then add 2 inches for the seam allowance. So from the bust line, I'll just go ahead and connect it, and also connect it from the waistline to meet the hip. You get? So after I was done doing that, next thing to do is to place my tape on the hip. So I measure what I have there. I had 14 inches. You get? So what I'll do now is to go ahead and place the 14 inches on the hem part. So I'll just mark it, then after marking I'll add extra 1 inch. You get? To make it 15 inches, because this is an A-line shape. So you can see that from the hip I connected it to the hem. Can you see what I just did here? it's an A-line shape, that's why I did it like that. So after that, I placed my tape, then I came down by 4 inches for the neck depth, you get. So I made the round neckline, I made the round curve at the round neckline, how I choose to call it. Then after I was done with that, I went ahead to go ahead and to trim it off just like this. Just go ahead and cut it off. So right now you can see what I have here. So when making yours, if you wish to have your plain fabric on the right side or on the left side, it's totally up to you. Just go ahead and check it very well before you can now go ahead and cut, you get. So after I was done cutting it off, you can see what I have here. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to place the plain fabric. Then I'll place this one on top of it, the right side facing each other. You can see what I did here. So I've placed the plain fabric and I placed it the right side facing each other. So right here I am already cutting it off, just like you see me doing. I'm already cutting it off. So I'll just cut the exact thing I had on the pattern, do you get, on the pattern material. Can you see? So after I was done cutting it, I also cut out the hem part as well, just like this. Then I'll also go ahead and notch the half an inch I marked at the front. That line there, I'll just go ahead and make my notch so I will know where to start my joining. You get. So go ahead and make your knot just like this. Can you see? So after I was done doing this, you can see where I have here. Now the next thing to do is to cut out the back piece, you get. So this is the front piece. I just open it the right side so you see how it looks like. So I'll just go ahead and cut out the back. So guys, for the back piece, you can see what I did here. So what I did here was to open my fabric. I just spread my fabric the wrong side, then I placed one of the pattern the wrong side facing each other. You can see what I did here. Go ahead and place it like this. Then I marked 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance. That's the zipper allowance, you get. So I'm marking just 1.5 inch for the zipper allowance, you get. So I'll just continue marking it, then I'll just make a straight line with it, just like this. Now after marking your 1.5 inch for the zipper allowance, what I did next was to go ahead and place my tape. So this waistline, you can also call it the half length if you choose to. So you can see that I extended it. Now you are going to place your tape. Place your tape, then just come in by half an inch. You can see, go ahead and mark it. Then from the neckline, go ahead and connect it just like this. Then stop somewhere around there, connect it to somewhere around there, just like you see me doing. So this is just to avoid the zipper bulge, you get. It's just to avoid a zipper bulge or zip bulge, I choose to call it. So for the back neckline, the person wants it the same, you get. The person wants her front neckline and the back neckline the same length. So if you want yours a high neck, you can just come up by 2 inches for your back pattern, you get. So after I was done sketching the neckline as same, I went ahead to cut it out just like this. Can you see? Now after cutting it out, what I'm going to do next is to go ahead and notch the zipper allowance side, you get. I'll just go ahead and notch it just like this. Then after notching, I'll remove the front piece, then I'll use the same piece for the back to cut out the remaining one for the other back, you get. So just use it and cut out the second side for the back. So right here I've gone ahead to cut it out, and this is how it's looking. Remember to place the right side facing each other if you are cutting the back with the other back, you get. So this is the facing for the back. I already gone ahead to cut it out, and I have it like 2-piece. Can you see? So right here, what I'm going to do next is to cut out the sleeve. It's just a normal sleeve, a basic sleeve, but it's going to be a short sleeve. So for the length is 10 inches plus folding allowance. So I went ahead to mark it, then make my curve for the sleeve, then also go ahead and cut it. You cannot see it very clearly because it's a white background. So after cutting the sleeve for the plain, I went ahead to fold the pattern into two, then cut the sleeve for the pattern as well. Go ahead and notch the center side. So I want to cut out the pocket. You get the pocket for the dress. Now what I will do here is, for the pocket, I'm going to just add 10 inches for the pocket length. So 8 inches is the actual pocket length, then the extra inches I added, which was the 2 inches, is just for the folding allowance. Do you get? So for the wideness of the pocket, I'll just mark 6 inches on fold, so when you open it, it's going to give you 12 inches. So I'll just go ahead and cut it off just like this. Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. After cutting, this is what I had. Can you see? So right here, I'll just notch the folded part, the side I'm going to be folding. I went ahead to notch it. You get, just like this. You can see where I have here. So this is how it's gonna be when I want to fold it. You can see. So this is the sleeve. Can you see the two sleeve? Now I'll just remove them, keep them aside, then I'll go ahead and work on the front. So I already gonna have to cut out the facing for the front as well. So right here, I'll just go ahead and join it with 1/2 inch stitching allowance. So after joining, I also trim off the excess. Then this is how it's going to look for the front. So after joining, trimming off the excess, I also place the facing and also go ahead and sew with 1/2 inch stitching allowance. So after doing that, for the back, this is the back as well. What I will do here is to go ahead and open it up, then I'll place the facing for the back, the right side facing each other. Go ahead and sew with 1/2 inch. After sewing, I'll go ahead and trim off the excess, then notch the neckline as well. So after I was done, you can see where I have here. So I used my hemming gum to hem it with my iron. As you can see that it sticks together, so I didn't fold it and it's not going to be showing on the neckline because I used my hemming gum. So after I was done doing that, next I'm going to be doing now is to face the pocket. So for the pocket, I placed my tape from the shoulder. So what I'm going to be doing now is to mark or to get the pocket length. So when I was measuring her, I measured like 23 inches. That is where the pocket is going to be starting from. So after marking the 23 inches, I also marked the 8 inches. That is where I would want the pocket to stop, the length of the pocket, 8 inches. Do you get? So this is it, guys. I hope you can see the lines very clear. So right now, this is the pocket. Can you see? So what I'm going to do now is to head over to my sewing machine, then go ahead and sew. So fold it, then go ahead and sew. After that, I'll be right back. So guys, after I was done sewing, I also went ahead to iron it out. I also ironed 1/2 inch inside for the folding and for the everything. Do you get? So this is it. I also measure it and I have 9 inches. So I'll also cut off the excess when I'm done sewing or when I'm done pinning it down. So right here, I went ahead to pin it down from the same lines, from the exact line I marked. Do you get? So go ahead and pin it down just like you see me doing. Make sure it's straight like this. Then after pinning it down, I'll also go ahead and trim off the excess I have for the pocket side, just like this. So I'll just now go ahead and sew on the tip, just like this. After doing that, I will be right back. So guys, this was what I had after I was done. You can see how it's looking. So right now, what I'm going to be doing next is to place the back piece, the right side facing each other on top of the front piece. You can see what I'm doing here. Now go ahead and place them the right side facing each other. So after placing, what you're going to do is to go ahead and join the both shoulders. You get? So I'm going to join the both shoulders. Can you see? Just go ahead and join it like you normally join your shoulder. Use one of the faces to cover the rest. Do you get? So I'll just leave space for my zipper allowance and I will sew the rest of the line of the seam. So guys, after I was done joining, you can see what I have here. This is how everything is looking. Now I also went ahead to pin the both side because I will be shaping it later or soonest. So for the both sleeve, I also went ahead to fold the hem part for the both sleeve. You can see where I have here. So what I'm going to be doing next is to go ahead and join the sleeves. So I am going to join the plain sleeve on the plain dress or on the plain side of the dress, just like this. If you don't understand what I'm saying, please look at what I'm doing. So the pattern sleeve or the Ankara sleeve, I'm going to place it on the Ankara side of the dress. You get, so I'll just go ahead and remove my pins like this. Then I already gone ahead to notch the center side of the sleeve. Now I'm going to place it. You can see and place how I placed it from the shoulder exactly. Go ahead and place it. Then after pinning, I'll head over to my sewing machine and I'll sew it with half of an inch, or I'll join it with half of an inch. Then after I was done joining, this is how it will be looking like. Can you see? This is how it's going to be looking like. So for the other side of the sleeve, that is the plain side, I'll also go ahead and do the same thing. Then after doing that, I will be right back. So guys, after I was done joining the bow sleeve, you can see what I have here. Can you see? This is the Ankara side. You can see how it's looking. So right now, what I'm going to be doing next is to shape my dress. So from the sleeve, divide the round sleeve into two. I marked it, which is 13 inches. So from the shoulder, I took the armhole depth, or the armhole depth. I took it, you remember it's 8 inches, so I took it, then measure it, mark 8 inches. Then for the bust, divide the bust circumference into two. This time around I marked what I have, then I also placed my tape, measure what I have left. It was 4.5. I divided it into two and I marked 2.2 inches. So on the waist, you do the same thing on the waist as well. Divide it by two this time around, then mark it, measure what you have left, and also divide it, then mark it as well. You get, so on the hip, you're going to divide your hip by by two, then mark it by two, mark it, then measure what you have left, divide it again, then mark it. So this last division you made for the measurement, or for the one you have left, is your shaping allowance. You get, so go ahead and make a straight line with it, just like this. This is how it's looking. You get, anything you got on the hips, take it straight down to the hem part. As you can see now, you can see that the shape line is very fine. At least the shape is very okay. You get, so this is how you shape your dress. I said let me show you. If you're a beginner watching this video, it's going to help you a lot if you don't know how to shape an A-line dress or any dress like this. So this is how you go about doing it. So right now what I'm doing is that I'm replacing whatever I have there. I'll just place my tape wherever I have there. I'll just go ahead and replace it, just like you see me doing. So after doing all of this, I'll go ahead and sew it. Get, I'll just sew on the exact line I marked. Do you get? So after sewing on the exact line I marked, I'm also going to go ahead and fold the hem part. You get, I'll just go ahead and fold the hem part as well. So guys, after I was done, you can see what I have here. This fabric is stretchy. You get, so that's why it's looking like this. If you look at the Ankara side or the pattern side, you can see that it's standing straight. So when the person wear it, everything is going to definitely comprehend, or definitely be well or straight. I don't know how to put it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one.